Karen thought she was clever. Every morning, her drones buzzed above my farm, spying on my crops, my animals, even my family's private moments. But what she didn't know? I used to design counter-drone tech for the US military. So when she crossed the line, I lit up the sky with signal jammers. Her $1,000 drones, they dropped like flies right into my pig pen, my cornfield, and even my bull's water trough. And when she came demanding answers, let's just say the courtroom became her final crash site. The first time I heard it, I thought it was a wasp, a faint buzzing over the soybean field at dawn. But as I looked up, the metallic glint of a drone flashed against the rising sun. It wasn't one of mine. I don't use drones on my farm. By the third day, the buzzing wasn't faint anymore. The thing hovered low, almost taunting me, its camera lens tilting toward my daughter as she played fetch with our dog. My blood boiled. Soon enough, more drones appeared. Not one, not two, but 3 at once. They moved in formation, flying over the barn, circling my cattle, and even swooping low enough to scatter the chickens. And that's when I saw her, Karen, HOA president of the neighboring community. She stood smugly at the edge of her manicured yard, iPad in hand, eyes narrowed with that look only entitled people can muster, the look that screams, "I own you, and there's nothing you can do about it." She shouted across the fence, "We have every right to monitor your activities. Your farm equipment is noisy, and your bull is a hazard. These drones are for community safety." Community safety, my foot. This was surveillance. This was harassment, and it was about to become her worst mistake. Karen's HOA subdivision had sprung up like weeds next to my generational farm. She hated everything about us. Our roosters crow at 5 a.m., the smell of manure during harvest, even the sound of tractors. But what she hated most? She couldn't control me. The HOA bylaws ended at her property line. My farm stood outside their jurisdiction. No matter how many letters she mailed, how many threats she shouted, she had no authority here. So, like any petty tyrant stripped of power, she turned to underhanded tactics. She filed noise complaints. They went nowhere. She called animal control. They laughed her off. She tried bribing zoning officers. They sided with me. So she escalated to drones. Her little buzzing fleet became her way of extending control. She could record, intimidate, and annoy me, all without stepping foot on my land. But Karen had no idea who she was messing with. Before farming full-time, I'd worked in defense tech, specifically counter-drone warfare. In the Middle East, I'd seen swarms of enemy drones taken out by the flick of a switch. And in my workshop, I still had access to gear that could turn Karen's toys into falling scrap metal. It was Sunday morning. My wife and I were having coffee on the porch. My daughter was brushing down her horse near the stable. Then 3 drones came buzzing low, hovering right over her head. The horse reared, panicked, almost throwing her. My wife screamed. That was it. No more warnings, no more patience. Karen had declared war on my family, and she was about to learn the meaning of escalation. I went into my barn workshop, flipped open a locked steel case, and pulled out a matte black device about the size of a car battery. 2 antennas extended like horns. This was a field range RF jammer, military grade, illegal in civilian hands. But I wasn't about to sit by and let my family be terrorized. I powered it on. A low hum vibrated through the barn as the device scanned for frequencies. The second the drone zipped overhead again, I dialed in their signal band and hit engage. The effect was instant. One moment they were circling like vultures. The next, their motors cut out mid-air. They dropped like stones. One crashed into the pig pen, splattering mud across the lens. Another landed smack in my cornfield, blades snapping like twigs. The third, it spiraled wildly before plunging straight into my bull's water trough. My bull snorted, unimpressed. My wife clapped, my daughter cheered, and I smiled the widest grin I'd worn in months. Minutes later, Karen came storming down the gravel drive, one phone in one hand, HOA clipboard in the other. You destroyed HOA property. Those drones cost thousands of dollars. This is vandalism. I leaned casually against my tractor. Private property, illegal surveillance. Call it even. She shoved her clipboard toward me. I'm reporting this. You'll pay for every one. But before she could rant further, 2 sheriff deputies rolled up. Turns out Karen had already called them. She rushed to their window like a child tattling to a teacher. He used weapons to shoot down my drones. Arrest him. The deputies approached me. Sir, did you destroy these drones? I nodded. Nope. They destroyed themselves when they trespassed on private airspace below FAA minimum altitude, and here's the footage to prove it. I pulled out my own tablet and showed them the live feed from my farm cameras. The drones had clearly flown dangerously low, buzzing livestock, endangering my daughter. The deputies turned to Karen. Ma'am, operating drones below 400 feet over private property without consent is unlawful. Endangering minors and livestock could qualify as reckless endangerment. Karen's face turned red. But this is HOA jurisdiction. One deputy smirked. Not out here, it isn't. Karen, of course, didn't let it go. She dragged me to small claims court, demanding $12,000 in damages for her precious drones, which she didn't expect. My attorney was a former FAA compliance officer. In court, he shredded her case like wheat through a thresher. He presented drone flight logs showing illegal altitude, video evidence of harassment and endangerment, testimony from neighbors who'd also been buzzed. Then he dropped the hammer. Karen had failed to register 2 of the drones with the FAA. That alone carried fines against her. By the time the gavel came down, Karen not only lost her case, but was ordered to pay me $15,000 for harassment, legal fees, and damages. Her HOA board, embarrassed by her reckless stunt, voted her out within the month. The subdivision she once ruled like a queen now avoided her like a plague. With the payout, I reinvested in the farm. New fencing, new cedars, and yes, a fully legal commercial-grade anti-drone system. Now, whenever a stray drone dares to cross into my airspace, it gets politely redirected back to its owner, broadcasting a message, private property, stay out. As for Karen, she tried flying a single drone again weeks later, cheap and flimsy. It barely got 20 feet over the fence before sputtering and crashing into her own driveway. Neighbors still laugh about it. Some even printed t-shirts with a cartoon drone falling into a pig pen, captioned, "Don't mess with the farmer." And me? I enjoy my mornings drone-free, sipping coffee while the sun rises over my fields. Peace has returned, because when you come after a farmer, you're not just picking a fight with a man. You're picking a fight with the land, the legacy, and in my case, military-grade know-how. Karen learned the hard way. The sky isn't hers to control.